like a scarf to match.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, there you go. And I've got green gloves the same. So good morning everybody. This is our day 3, so everyone's very kind of relaxed now. We're all well into the way of things, are we? I don't know.
Yep.
It's maybe relaxed and also ready to rock and roll kind of for the final day. So I thought I'd maybe start with some ultramarine blue here to get something done quickly. In fact, I'll tell you what I was going to do was just start on the floor even. Not sure how. Yeah. Because it's totally like not a demonstration on the video. On the floor. I'll show you what happens in a second. Yeah, it wasn't really a plan to be honest with me. Okay. I just feel like we've got light blue, haze blue, or jug blue, and then yellow. And so those 3 things, you know, whatever is the quickest way, I guess, to establish those things. And if I find a position for the jug in the centre there, and this is Caribbean blue, alcohol ink, that does nice things. But of course, when I put it up, it'll go weird. Well, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's amazing stuff happening down there. What a shame. I'm really just saying.
It's got some fuss on it.
Yeah, does it like to resist?
That's kind of the first time it's done anything that I really felt pleased with. It's funny, isn't it? No, while it's down there, I might as well. I'll do my tabletop thing again. I mean, I'm looking for tea.
Are you taking a portrait or a landscape?
Portrait. Yeah, that's my plan.
There's tape over on Alison's table, like which you wrote.
Maybe I'll just use this magic that's So I'm kind of looking back again as where I might put. I think that I might go here. I mean, who knows? That might all go weird when I put it up the way.
We like weird though.
Yeah, we can tolerate weird, can't we? Yeah. Should really just turn that down there. That's what's happening down there. And it doesn't all fall off now. Oh God. Okay. So this is the turquoise high flow acrylic ink. Is that anyway like the colour of the tabletop? A little bit maybe. And I thought we could use our who gives a crap paper as well possibly for that. Yeah, this is more turquoise, isn't it, than the blue of the table.
Nice though. It's a
Nice
nice
though,
colour.
yeah, isn't it? I'm sure I suppose when I'm at it, I might as well lob on something to describe the shape of the daffodils.
That's it.
You get there.
Chris is twitching.
What did you say?
Oh, Chris is twitching. It's so precise.
I think more with it. You're no stranger to expressive wildness, as well as this fine. Let's see now. I wanted a really dry brush for the daffodils. Yeah, they're kind of that colour. I mean, they're probably a wee bit more cadmium. That kind of yellow, aren't they? Which I have in here as well. It does feel good doing something to when it goes back up on the easel that you have to, just something that you can work into. You know, it provides the resistance to clay or something.
What should we time?
Yeah, thanks, Veronica.
How long would you like?
About 10 minutes maybe? It's really just a kind of like, it's what we do, isn't it?
I'll give you 14 minutes.
If you give me 10 and then the extra 4, that'll go
Well,
like,
I've started
do
at
you know what I
13.
mean? Okay.
But by the time you get down to it, it'll be 10.
Alright. Put that back on the palette there. time I get down to it. I'm doing it.
Sorry.
This is me doing it now. This is as good as it gets, like. I don't know what you're expecting.
No, no,
Kathy.
no, no.
Yeah, I love you too, really. We could do with a roller. You know, I used to have rollers,
Oh, yeah.
remember? Because it's just anything. I think I might find some upstairs if any of you wanted to try that.
Or a piece of card or anything, no.
Maybe a
Just
piece of
scrape
card,
it, but that
yeah.
would be a different effect.
Yeah, just something to kind of disperse. Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
That might be someone's face. Everything I pick up, I think. You know, there's a place for all of it. But actually, what I'm looking for is a piece of card. Just move, paint your own somewhat differently. Oh, I don't really want the dark blue coming into that. Okay. All right, let's see what that looks like now when we put it up here. Sorry about this. Oh. I think it's just about going to catch what I'm doing on the easel. Okay, I'm going to take that off. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm thinking of painting, of drawing in over the edge to create the jug shape here.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, it's getting there. I think whatever gets you there faster, it's lovely to not have to labour over the smalls, over the structure of things. You know, so something to describe. I think on the first day we spoke about that. Something to describe the tabletop, something to describe the base, something to describe the foliage and the flowers. That's inspiring to work over. If you've got something that makes you feel a little bit like, God, what's going to happen here? That's no harm. I think I'll just add that on as well.
The glue's there.
Thanks. Okay. Let's stick it on here as well. Okay. And of course we've got other inks as well. You can have a lot of fun with your ink when you're working on a surface that's a little bit wet already. You can let the inks do interesting things on there. Okay, so wanting to get something like a jug shape now. I want to do that. What could we do next? Maybe the white oil pastel actually. Just to find something of the shape of the spout of the jug there. And I still have a little bit of yellow on the card to bring down the daffodils. There's one sticking out that way. There's one shooting out that way. I feel like it's the beginning that's the part that deserves a bit of energy, and then you have the almost the I think the kind of wilder you can go while still observing what's there, the more you'll have to move with then when you're grappling with it and creating, moulding and managing it. So that I would, you know, experiment with just letting yourself fully zone out of your head and go into nursery school again mode, or, you know, the feeling of enjoying the feel of stuff in your hands and the different, all the different surfaces you can make. And I suppose the daffodils are a bit of a gift that way, because it's all one colour, you know, it's pretty much all yellows, all blues and all light blue. So you have the capacity here to make something all yours colours to begin with. That's just yellow, blue, blue. And then you can reach for this a bit more and try and find things that will make it. It's fun then to try and kind of maneuver it into what you're seeing in front of you. Okay. And when you've got all day, you might as well lob it on quick and then have stuff that you can model and is that the word, model? It's like clay. It feels like something pliable. Like it might begin, you might feel like it's not pliable, but it is. You can adjust the edges all the way through. You can use your oil pastel to change an edge. You can bring the paint down, stick a bit of paper on. You've got the capacity to use a stick dipped in ink if you want to really define a part. It's a bit early on probably to be using the stick dipped in ink. It's a little bit, it feels like a restraining thing for me there now, having that like single line. But you know, there's lots of ways through your work that you'll be able to adjust things, and even the stencils I think could be very pleasing. Yeah, like what do I want to do now? It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes you don't have an idea of it. I think I'd like to bring the curve of the vase, of the jug around a bit more clearly by using some of the ultramarine blue through the stencil there. And it's a kind of a gift that it's already carved, the stencil. So it might read as that side of the jug. It's good fun. See the stencils? Yes, at last. You're joining me in the enthusiasm. I think actually you are, you know, I've been forcing them on you, but you're using them, like, it's not as though you've not been using them. Maybe even there too. Might be quite a nice thing to describe the, don't know, the spout a little bit maybe. And then even possibly the handle. It's almost like there needs to be something unknown to keep the excitement, you know, as soon as you rein it in. So it's good to keep that breathing, keep it like, that like expanding and contracting. There's something like that I think that happens. And it's a lovely, playful thing that happens then. So if you're always contracting or always expanding, there's something kind of a little bit off balance there. But if you notice when you've started to chase something and then realize, okay, I need to do something general somewhere else, I think that's a good rule of thumb, kind of. Okay. So maybe where the jug meets the table could have something next might be quite nice to do there. Maybe just gives a crack again. It's too much carry on. Just that little bit possibly. Because it is coming down below. It is coming down below the surface of the tabletop, that jug. I might even need to. What am I doing? It's there, isn't it? It's tabletop, not jug. I had a plan where it worked there, kind of. Do you know what? I'm going to lift it because it seems to me like I'm going to need to do. Sorry. I feel like I'm going to make the whole tabletop come down a little bit further there. What am I doing? I really don't know what I'm doing. I have really no idea. No, there is this paint. No, what about that? It is acrylic. Is this yours, Anna?
It might be.
Sorry.
It's alright.
I don't know what I was doing maybe.
You just said button wrong way.
Unless
It's the same brand as the rest of mine.
Yes, that's probably yours. Better check my bag for any more. Just in case.
Yes, that's what happens.
So now I'm not wanting to adjust where the edge of the table stops and the jug starts, because I felt like I started it down too low there. Not sure, but I think it was a bit low the table. Yeah, I think that feels like the jug is anchored down a bit better. And that's all blue paint, it's the wrong blues, so I'm going to wash it off. I want to bring some fluidity into the there. Okay, and sometimes when the water is on, then you can just let that alone for a while, and forget about what's happening there even. And I'm going to go back up here and see about doing something to describe the daffodil that's falling down in front of the jug there. It's a kind of a silver whitey yellow. Maybe it isn't paper at all that's needed there. No, I think it is. The other side of this craft seems to be colour I'm looking for. Be there. There's a little bit of it somewhere else too. This is really just the white daffodils. I'm using the other side of that paper, which somehow has a bluish tinge that I'm seeing in those white daffodil petals. And it's interesting to see what's happening there. The background and parts of it, the background has got that spring green through the window, and that's lighter and brighter than some of the trumpets of the daffodils. So as the day goes on, there would be kind of a grappling. If I was to continue this, there'd be a kind of push and pull with the yellow ochre colour maybe of the shadow in the daffodils. It might be necessary to draw some of the dark yellows with a yellow ochre, or different, you'd find different darks. Like some of the shadows on the daffodils to me look like they're kind of greenish. There's one up there that feels a little bit green shadow there. And I think like the two together seems to work. To get the shadow with the eyes half closed, you might find you're able to identify more the colour. And I just want to lose that a little bit again. It doesn't feel that that's completely the right thing there. So I'm just going to mix the two yellows together and just lose that a little bit again. Okay. But it's helpful to note where the daffodils are darker than the background and where they're lighter. And it's nice to see that like some of the daffodils are brighter than the background, where there's the dark of the other still life is behind them. And so I could pick out the edge of the daffodils here through maybe drawing with the black ink or painting something dark up to meet them, and to find the edge of the daffodils on that side. So that could be a way to do that. And then you could also, that was the alarm, wasn't it?
That was 13 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So you can have another 2.
Oh, thanks, Veronica. So, as well as drawing the background up to meet them, you might reinforce the brightness of them with some of this paper, like you did with the sunflowers yesterday. That was exciting, even. You know, there's the opportunity to use paper as well. So the darker the background up to meet it, you might find too that just really becoming still and steady, and the out breath helps you with that, and really finding the colours, using your palette like this and noticing the different yellows that exist within this shape, and really doing your best to actually find those colours too. So as well as the contrast at the edge, there might be subtle things happening in here that could be really pleasing to be steady and quiet with and find them, you know. and then bringing down the brights in between the darker daffodils here. So the daffodils being brighter than the background here, and the daffodils being darker than the background here is quite a nice thing. I don't think I've made sense of it, but I think you can kind of see a way in, and whatever it is you're painting, it's quite a nice thing to do. Like with your jug up there that Veronica kindly gave me, it's a lovely jug. I think it's a lovely one to find a bit of collage that might work. A subtle pattern can often be quite a nice thing for that. You know, you'll find a piece of collage that might work for the vase maybe, or you might choose to paint it. Like Veronica, you drew it yesterday beautifully. So there's opportunities for using collage kind of early on there as well, or playing with pattern too. There's different alcohol inks that might make a nice pattern for that jug. So I think the jug is a place where you can play with mixed media, and then it'll kind of release, give you a bit of that playful attitude, you know, when you tear and stick something down, and then you have a bit more confidence going into the painting of the flowers maybe. And maybe not, I don't know. But you just have to kind of show up anyway and see what happens. That's the best thing. So thanks very much for your attention, and all the very best. Yeah, bye. Gosh, it's a very lopsided video.